Hi there, I am Jackie and welcome to your yoga class. Today we're talking about our physical health, about our actual bodies and how yoga can maybe help with that. Now you might have some ideas of your own already, but before we start we're going to start with a little bit of breathing as we always do in yoga class. So we're going to do feeling breath today, and all that is sit with your legs crossed like this, and you're just going to put your hands just at the bottom of your rib cage here, okay? And we're going to be taking nice deep breaths through our nose, and we're going to be feeling what's going on in our body and in our mind as well. And when we're breathing, trying to make our hands move so that we know we're taking deep belly breaths, okay? So you can shut your eyes at this point as well if you want. So let's take a nice big deep breath in and a nice big deep breath out. And just do that a couple of times. Breathe in. Breathe out. And every time you're breathing in, feel what's going on. What we might feel is our rib cage expanding when we're taking those nice big breaths in, and contracting when we take our breath out. And what's making that happen? Just the air going into all of our lungs. And maybe if your eyes are shut, you might be actually feeling how relaxed breathing like this is making you feel. So there's no right or wrong to what you're feeling. It's just nice to just focus on your breathing and really focus on what you're feeling while you're breathing rather than just sitting here breathing. So a couple of more breaths with your hands in your rib cage, breathing through your nose if you can. And then when you're finished, just taking your hands onto your knees, and just before we start a yoga practice, just having a think about our body, our physical beings, and asking ourselves what effect, for example, breathing has on us. It has a different effect from everyone, but what it might do is make you feel a little bit more calm and relaxed. And that's because by taking nice big deep breaths, we're actually telling our brain it's okay, it's time to relax. And that's why everybody goes on about breathing so much, because it actually does have a physical effect on how you are feeling inside your mind as well. And also about how yoga postures can help our physical health. It might be, you'll have your own ideas at home, but obviously by stretching and by getting our heart rate up and by all these things, it is helping our physical health. It's helping our heart be healthier. It's helping us feel more flexible and more mobile as well, okay? And maybe more able to do the things that we really love doing, sports, football, tennis, all these sorts of things. Really helps your body repair in between times. So we're going to have a wee warm up first of all. Okay, so coming on to your hands on your knees. Okay, we're going to do a couple of exercises just in a repetition. So tuck your toes at the back and check your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. Okay, we're going to breathe in and let our tummy come to the floor in a cow posture. Okay, and then breathe out, bring your chin into your chest and curve your spine up towards the ceiling. That's it. And then from here, we're going to put our knees together, come back, sit in our heels and come into rock pose, head on the mat. Okay, 3 poses, dead easy. Okay, so from here, coming up to your tabletop position again, adjust your knees to hip width. Inhale, come up to cat position. Exhale. Inhale, come up to cow position. Exhale to cat, really push that back up, then bringing your feet and your knees in whilst you bring your head to the floor and curl up in a wee ball in rock position. Lovely, take a couple of breaths here and then coming up on your hands and knees again one more time. So coming up to cow position, inhaling, pressing that tummy towards the floor, and there is a wee bend in your back. Exhaling to cat, and then knees and feet together, back to child's pose, back to rock. And taking a couple of deep breaths and checking in all the time with your body. How is that feeling and how might this be helping me? Okay, how can this help me in my other everyday pursuits, like going to school, like, doing your hobbies, all these other things. And just take a couple of breaths. And then just sitting up really nice and gently. So we've started our bodies moving, so we'll go on and do our yoga poses now. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees now, okay, and we're going to come up to a downward dog first of all. So tuck those toes in at the back, raise your bottom up onto your tiptoes and then come back to a downward dog. So your bottom is up really high, you're sort of in an upside down V position. Now your legs might not be straight, they might be a wee bit bent, that's absolutely fine, and your heels might not be anywhere near the floor, but give it a pedal out. Your hands are shoulder width apart and your feet are hip width apart, and feel that lovely big stretch up the back of your legs. Then from here we're just going to walk forward towards your hands. Now keep your hands on the floor and your feet are hip width apart. We're going to do a ragdoll pose. So bend those knees, okay? Hold on to the inside of your elbow and really let your head hang. Even lean your chest on your thighs. Have a wee wiggle about if you want. And it's all about making your head feel nice and loose for this one. Okay, nice and relaxed. Remember that breathing. Remember to breathe in and out through your nose. And then we're slowly going to roll up very, very slowly and come to the front of your mat if you're not there already. So we're going to step out to the side so that your feet are about a leg length apart and your feet are pointing forward as well, okay? You can have a wee bend in the knees, you don't have to have them completely straight. So we're going to come out to star position, okay? Really open up your chest, all right? Nice big star position, pushing your arms back a little bit, feeling the stretch in your leg. And you might be thinking, you know, this might be really easy for you, or it might be a challenge for you. There's no right or wrong. So we're going to turn our feet, our heels in a little bit, okay? We're going to put our hands on our hips and then we're going to bend our knees and coming down and squat, okay? So just come down as far as you can. Your weight is in your heels here, okay? And if you want to, you can put your hands up like this as well and involve the shoulders a little bit more. So from here, just push into your feet. That's it. And then we're going to turn our feet so they're facing to the right. So your hips turn and they're facing over your right foot. And this back foot is maybe, it's the angle of it is up to you as long as your hips are pointing over your front foot. This front leg might have a wee bend in it as well. So just put your hands out to the side, and what we're going to do is move over our front foot first and then come over into a triangle pose. So put your hand against the back of the hand against the calf, reach this other hand up and really push this left shoulder out and look up into our triangle pose. Okay, keep that breathing going, notice what's going on in your body. Nice big stretch up the front leg there. Now look down, okay, and we're going to come up to the middle again. So turn these feet straight on again and let's do the other side, okay? So legs are staying nice and straight. Hips are like headlights, remember, over that front leg. And then you can have a little bend in the front knee, not too much of a bend. Move over the front foot and then come down into triangle pose. Back of the hand against the calf, or it might be further up, you don't have to come right the way down, and the top hand is up straight. Get the shoulder back so you get a nice twist, okay? Notice how that feels, nice big twist in your body and up the back of that front leg. So looking down again, coming up, nice and strong. So coming back to the middle, okay, we're going to then turn that right foot out again, but keep your foot side on, okay, at the back, because we're going to bend into that front knee, just so that your knee is over your ankle, okay, to come into a warrior two. So this time your hips are kind of to the side, they're not straight on like they were before, your hands are out, and you can also move that foot forward at the front if you want a bigger lunge as well. So looking over your front hand, relax those shoulders, okay, straighten that leg, bring that foot straight and turn the other foot out. We're going to do the other side, so bend into that knee. Lovely. And just notice again how that's feeling. How might this be helping your body, do you think? For me, it feels like I am giving my legs a good stretch, and it feels like I'm strengthening my legs as well and my shoulders, because it's quite hard to keep your hands up there if you're not used to doing it. That's it. So straightening that front leg again, side on, and come into our star position again. So your feet are now straight again. Feel that chest opening. Your shoulders might be a little bit achy because our hands have been up for a while now. And then we're going to step to the front of the mat into mountain pose, okay? So I'll turn to the side so that you can see me. But mountain pose, your feet are together, toes are touching at the front, hands are down by the side and your shoulders are nice and relaxed, and we're just standing here just for a couple of breaths and maybe getting our breath back, or maybe just checking in with how we're feeling and how this might be helping your body. It might just be making you feel really nice and relaxed, which is absolutely fine as well. So from your mountain pose, we're going to come into that ragdoll position again. So you guys are at the front of your mat, and what you're going to do is bend from your hips. But remember, we're just relaxing down. Hold on to the inside of your arms if you want. You can have your legs straighter this time, or you can have them just as bent. Into that ragdoll, let the head go, nice and relaxed, okay? And then from here, put your hands on the mat, and you're going to step back to downward dog. And maybe your downward dog is a little bit easier. You might still want to have your knees bent. That's absolutely fine. And from here, come down onto your knees together, feet together, and we're going to come into that rock pose like we did before. So top of the hands on the floor, head on the floor, and just take a couple of breaths here. Notice how your body's feeling. And then slowly coming back up, we're going to come onto our bottoms for a boat pose. So sitting on your bottom, put your hands on the mat beside you, and you're going to point one foot up and maybe 2 feet up. Now you can stay here, resting if you want, using your hands as support, but don't collapse through your lower back like this. Keep the chest up, okay? Keep your upper thighs here as close to your chest as you can. Now you can put your hands up like this if you want to. See what feels good for you and just try and breathe into it. Lovely. And then coming down, we're going to do a little pretzel twist. So crossing your legs this time. And what you're going to do is take your left hand and put it on your right knee. Put the other hand behind you. So lengthen your spine and then twist round into a lovely pretzel twist. And this is giving your spine a really nice bit of movement. It's also giving your internal organs a really nice massage. So all those organs are packed in there, kind of giving them a bit of a wake-up call. So it's really good for your digestion and all this sort of thing as well. And then coming back round, we need to do the other side. So right hand on your left knee, other hand behind, and twist round and keep that body up nice and straight. Don't be leaning one way or the other. That's it. And then coming back round, and we're going to go down onto our backs now. So lying down with your knees up, we're going to have a bit of a twist. So put your hands out to the sides, keep your knees together and let your knees drop over to the left, but keep your shoulder blades on the floor, okay? So your knees don't need to touch the floor. If they do and your shoulder blades are still on the floor, then that's absolutely fine. So this is another twist, but we're doing it on the floor. Taking nice big deep breaths, and it's stretching off those abdominal muscles after that boat pose as well. It takes a lot of work, that one, doesn't it? So coming up, and we need to do the other side. So hands out in a T position, drop the knees over, keep those shoulder blades on the floor. Feel the stretch. That's it, and knees back up again, and then just let your legs go long. We're going to have a relaxation now. So that means just lying on the floor. You can shut your eyes if you want, and your hands are just slightly out away from your body. You can have a blanket at this point as well. But as long as you're lying on the floor, you keep lying down. As long as you're lying on the floor, really nice and relaxed. And we're going to do a little exercise called tense and release. So just with your eyes closed, just breathing and resting and feeling really nice and relaxed. As if you're falling asleep, just let go of all your thoughts and feel your breath without changing anything. Notice what your breathing's doing. Is it fast or is it slow? Loud or quiet? Smooth or a bit raspy? Beginning with your hands, you're going to clench your fists and press your arms tightly into your sides for 5 seconds. And then relax. Just let it go and let your arms and hands be floppy. Breathe evenly while you're squeezing all your muscles, okay? So we're going to move on to our face now. So tense the face right up, scrunch it up. Really screw your face up for 5 seconds. The full 5 seconds, and then let it release. Really nice and relaxed. Now onto our stomachs. Really tense your stomach up, really, really tense it for 5 seconds and pull your stomach inward, okay, and relax. So next we're going to go into your bottom, really tense that up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for 5 seconds and then let it go. Now onto our legs, okay, so tense your legs up, both of them at the same time as much as you can, really put an effort into the tense. And then let it go. And then last of all, your feet. Scrunch your feet up as much as you can into a ball. Hold it for 5 full seconds and then let it go. So now we're going to tense all the muscles we can at the same time, okay? So let's tense absolutely everything up. Hold it. It should be quite hard work tensing everything up for the full 5 seconds, then relax and let it go. Now, do you just notice if you feel any different at all? And notice your breathing as well. Has that changed from the beginning of this exercise, or is it the same? So you're just noticing these things. We're not really doing anything with the information. We're just really noticing what's going on. So gently beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a nice stretch and just sitting up really, really nice and slowly. So just having a wee think about how you're feeling now, just pausing, sitting here with your legs crossed and thinking about how yoga can maybe help your physical health as well as your mental health. Think about the change you've felt in your body over the last sort of 15 minutes and whether you think that's something that is helpful to you or not. Especially the last exercise, tensing and releasing, is really good for noticing if you're tense or not as well. I don't know if you've maybe noticed that, but you can try that on your own as well, or replay this and use it again. So thank you very much for joining me for your yoga class. I hope to see you back again for another yoga class, but until then, I'll see you later. And we're going to finish with a namaste. So hands together at your chest, and after 3, we'll say namaste. 1, 2, 3, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.